Sometimes, my friend, as we journey through the intricate landscape of a life shared, it feels as if an invisible wall has slowly, subtly grown between a man and a woman. Imagine, if you will, not a wall of brick and mortar, but a shimmering veil, almost imperceptible at first. It begins as a whisper of absence, a slight hesitation where once there was fluid motion. This veil, woven not from anger or resentment, but from the unacknowledged accumulation of small omissions. A glance not quite held, a touch not quite felt, a word left unsaid, not out of malice, but out of a subtle, creeping weariness. And over time, this whisper grows, this hesitation solidifies, until a true barrier stands. Not confrontational, but deeply isolating. A wall of silence, yes, but also a wall of unspoken expectations, of quiet disappointments, of energies left unexchanged. It's like two ships passing in the night, their lights visible, their forms distinct, yet the vast, dark ocean stretches between them, making true connection impossible. And within the quiet chambers of your own heart, you begin to perceive this shift. A subtle chill where once there was warmth. A muted tone where vibrant resonance once sang. You realize, with a soft ache, that she has stopped feeling you. It's not that she doesn't care. It's not that she has ceased to love you in her own way. But that primal, intuitive connection, that delicate, energetic umbilical cord that bound you, it seems to have loosened. You might see her eyes, yes, but do they see into your soul? You might hear her laughter, but does it feel like it ripples through your own being? The sense of being deeply, intrinsically felt, that profound recognition that transcends mere physical presence, that is what seems to have receded. It's as if a part of her essential self, the part that once reached out with an invisible antenna to find yours, has quietly folded itself inward. This isn't a rejection, it's a disconnection. A sacred circuit, once vibrant, now running low. And the mind, in its human tendency, immediately seeks a culprit. Who is to blame for this growing chasm, it whispers? Is it her fault? Has she grown cold? Has she simply changed? Or, equally insidious, is it my fault? Have I failed to be enough? Have I lost my way? But I invite you now, truly, to release that burden. To understand that this fading, this quiet withdrawal of the deep current is almost never born of malice or deliberate neglect. Instead, it is a profound signal, a call, perhaps from the very soul of your relationship, to pause, to breathe, to observe, without judgment, the subtle forces that have led you to this quiet crossroads. In our modern world, we are often driven by external metrics, success, achievement, utility. We are taught to do rather than to. We speak of connection, of that subtle dance between two souls, two bodies. And sometimes, in the quiet of a shared life, we sense a shift. A whisper that once resonated deeply begins to fade, like a melody losing its way in the vastness. We ask ourselves, where does that living thread, so vibrant and full, begin to fray? Where does it retreat, leaving behind a silence that was once filled with the hum of shared life? Consider the world we inhabit, a world that often misunderstands the very essence of sensuality. It's frequently reduced, isn't it? Perceived merely as a physical urge, a basic physiological need, or worse, sometimes even as a weakness, a vulnerability to be guarded. This perception, this subtle judgment, it begins to work on us, on her, in ways we rarely acknowledge. This delicate, vibrant energy, this current of life that flows between a man and a woman, finds itself assailed. buried beneath the insistent demands of daily life, the relentless pace of obligations, the weight of expectations, both unspoken and openly declared. It gets pushed down by the anxieties of the future, the shadows of past fears. It's muffled by the echoes of unexpressed grievances, those small, accumulating hurts that never found voice. Each unanswered need, each unacknowledged whisper of the heart, layers itself upon the vibrant core. And so, somewhere deep within the psyche, a quiet weariness takes root, a profound exhaustion that isn't just of the body, but of the spirit. And with this weariness, there often comes a silent, internal judgment, a subtle yet powerful condemnation of oneself, of one's own body, of one's own natural, beautiful desire. It's a judgment that whispers, "This part of me is too much," or "This part of me is not enough," or even, "This part of me is unsafe." When the world around her, and the world within her, begins to feel unsafe for this tender, living energy, a woman, in her profound wisdom, instinctively seeks to protect it. Not to lose it, no. The capacity to feel, to embody sensuality is never truly lost. It is simply hidden. She doesn't consciously decide to disconnect. Instead, she quietly, unconsciously withdraws a part of herself from the outer world. She pulls back the delicate tendrils of her sensual awareness, shielding them within her innermost sanctuary. She stops breathing this energy outwards. She ceases to project its warmth, its luminescence, into the shared space. And when she stops breathing it, truly breathing it, with her whole being, with her skin, her breath, her very presence, then, inevitably, you, the man who yearns to feel her, cease to feel it too. The current, once so palpable, diminishes. Where does this living thread lose its vitality? It loses it in the silent accumulation of blocks, barriers that rise, often unseen, between her spirit and her sensual expression. Think of guilt, how it subtly poisons the wellspring of joy. Guilt, perhaps for feeling too much, or for not feeling what she believes she should feel. It's a quiet inhibitor, a shadow cast over the natural light of desire, whispering that this energy is somehow wrong or inappropriate. It tells her to diminish herself, to make herself smaller, less vibrant. Consider shame, a deeper, more searing wound. Shame, often inherited or imprinted by past experiences, tells her that her sensuality is flawed, ugly, something to be concealed at all costs. It wraps itself around the heart, stifling the breath, making the body itself feel like a source of vulnerability rather than power. It creates a profound disconnect, a chasm between the inner self and its outward expression. It's a heavy cloak, obscuring the radiant truth of who she is. And then there is fear. Fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of vulnerability, fear of losing control, fear of not being enough. Fear builds an invisible cage around the heart, around the pelvis, around the very core of her being. It restricts the flow, tightens the muscles, shortens the breath. This fear, it doesn't just stop passion, it stops life from moving freely through her. It prevents her from expanding, from opening, from simply being. Exhaustion, too, plays its role. Not just the physical weariness from a day's demands, but a deeper, soulful depletion. When the wellspring of her vital energy is constantly drawn upon without replenishment, without space for rest, for play, for simply being, then the capacity for sensual expression diminishes. Sensuality requires presence, requires energy. It is a luxurious overflow of vitality, and when the well is dry, there is no overflow. There is only a quiet longing for rest. And unspoken resentment. This is perhaps one of the most insidious blocks. Those quiet grievances, those feelings of being unseen, unheard, unappreciated, that are never brought into the light. They build up, silently, like a wall between hearts. Each unaddressed hurt, each small disappointment that festers, creates a tiny crack in the dam, eventually blocking the entire flow. This resentment isn't about grand arguments. It's about the accumulated weight of countless small moments where her needs, her feelings, her very self felt neglected or dismissed. It is a silent turning away, a protective mechanism that inevitably impacts the intimacy of touch, the depth of connection. These forces, guilt, shame, fear, exhaustion, unspoken resentment, they are not just emotions. They are physical constrictions. They are energetic blockages. They are the impediments that interrupt the current of life that seeks to flow, wild and free, between a man and a woman. When energy is blocked, we don't lose merely sex, we lose vitality. We lose the creative impulse, the healing touch, the deep, soulful connection that is the very essence of intimacy. It is not an accusation, but an observation, a gentle unveiling of the truth that lies beneath the surface. For when a woman breathes deeply, life breathes with her. And when she cannot or dares not breathe that sensuous life, then the world and the man beside her feels the absence. Love, feel, breathe. The energy within you has never died. It's been waiting for you to awaken. And so, we stand at the threshold of a quiet, profound question, don't we? This feeling, this elusive current that once flowed so freely, so vividly between you and your beloved, where does it truly go? Why does it seem to recede, like a tide pulling back from the shore, leaving behind a longing, a subtle sense of emptiness? It's not merely a physical yearning that begins to fade, is it? No. It's something infinitely deeper, something far more fundamental to our very existence, to the fabric of our shared reality. What we often speak of as passion, or desire, or even just that mysterious spark, is, in its purest essence, the very current of life itself. It is the animating force, the energetic bloodstream that pulses through all creation. And yes, between a man and a woman, there flows not just transient passion, but life itself. This is an ancient river, you see, a primordial stream of consciousness and energy that predates memory, coursing through the shared space you inhabit, through the invisible threads that bind you. When this river is vibrant, free, and unburdened, everything within its reach blossoms. Relationships deepen, creativity ignites, and a profound sense of well-being pervades every aspect of your days. But when its flow dwindles, when its waters grow still or are diverted, the landscape around it begins to subtly shift. What we often speak of as passion, or desire, or even just that mysterious spark, is, in its purest essence, the very current of life itself. It is the animating force, the energetic bloodstream that pulses through all creation. And yes, between a man and a woman, there flows not just transient passion, but life itself. This is an ancient river, you see, a primordial stream of consciousness and energy that predates memory, coursing through the shared space you inhabit, through the invisible threads that bind you. When this river is vibrant, free, and unburdened, everything within its reach blossoms. Relationships deepen, creativity ignites, and a profound sense of well-being pervades every aspect of your days. But when its flow dwindles, when its waters grow still or are diverted, the landscape around it begins to subtly shift. What we often speak of as passion, or desire, or even just that mysterious spark, is, in its purest essence, the very current of life itself. It is the animating force, the energetic bloodstream that pulses through all creation. And yes, between a man and a woman, there flows not just transient passion, but life itself. This is an ancient river, you see, a primordial stream of consciousness and energy that predates memory, coursing through the shared space you inhabit, through the invisible threads that bind you. When this river is vibrant, free, and unburdened, everything within its reach blossoms. Relationships deepen, creativity ignites, and a profound sense of well-being pervades every aspect of your days. But when its flow dwindles, when its waters grow still or are diverted, the landscape around it begins to subtly shift. What we often speak of as passion, or desire, or even just that mysterious spark, is, in its purest essence, the very current of life itself. It is the animating force, the energetic bloodstream that pulses through all creation. And yes, between a man and a woman, there flows not just transient passion, but life itself. This is an ancient river, you see, a primordial stream of consciousness and energy that predates memory, coursing through the shared space you inhabit, through the invisible threads that bind you. When this river is vibrant, free, and unburdened, everything within its reach blossoms. Relationships deepen, creativity ignites, and a profound sense of well-being pervades every aspect of your days. But when its flow dwindles, when its waters grow still or are diverted, the landscape around it begins to subtly shift. It can lose its verdant hue, its vibrant pulse, leaving behind a quiet wistfulness. Consider, for a moment, the woman you love. Her sensuality is not just a collection of physical responses, not merely an outward expression. It is, at its core, her inner river, a deep, flowing current that nourishes everything around her. This river is intrinsic to her being, a source of profound strength and intuition. When she breathes deeply, truly deeply, not just with her lungs, but allowing the breath to descend into the very root of her being, life breathes with her. Her breath in that moment is not just air. It is the visible manifestation of this vital, creative energy moving through her, connecting her to the vast, universal rhythm of existence. When she is consciously connected to this internal flow, when her river runs clear and unimpeded, her presence alone can warm a room, inspire a vision, soothe a troubled mind, or bring forth exquisite beauty. It's a quiet radiance, an inherent allure, a living wellspring of creative and emotional richness that profoundly impacts not just her own life, but the lives of those fortunate enough to be near her. It is her essence, her unique song. And what then is this elusive quality we call desire? We've been conditioned, through countless societal narratives, to often see it as something primal, sometimes even base, a mere instinctual function of the body, tied only to procreation or fleeting pleasure. But I invite you now to look deeper, to feel beyond these limited definitions. Desire is not merely the body calling, it is the soul singing. Yes, singing. It is a profound, resonant melody, an ancient hymn that rises from the very core of our being, yearning for connection, for expression, for the exquisite dance of creation and communion. It is the purest language through which the soul speaks its longing to merge, to expand, to experience the exquisite, boundless fullness of being. This sacred yearning is not limited to romantic love. It extends to our desire for beauty, for truth, for connection with the divine, for the unfolding of our highest potential. It is the urge to come alive, fully and completely. This energy, this sacred current, this soulful song is fundamentally creative. It is the same magnificent force that brings forth new life into the world, Yes, in all its miraculous forms. But it is also the very force that inspires us to build bridges of understanding, to paint masterpieces that stir the spirit, to compose symphonies that echo the universe's harmony, to nurture flourishing gardens, and to heal the deepest wounds of the body and soul. It is an energy that can mend what is broken, inspire what has grown dormant, and bring into palpable being what was once only a fragile whisper in the heart. When we consciously allow this current to flow freely, when we honor its presence within us, we become active conduits for something far grander than our individual selves. We become creators, in the most profound and sacred sense of the word. We become participants in the ongoing act of creation. But what happens then, when this inner river, this soulful melody, begins to falter, to quiet its song? Sometimes the current is blocked. This blockage is rarely intentional, rarely a conscious choice. It is often a subtle accumulation of unspoken fears, of unaddressed hurts, of the quiet armor we build, brick by invisible brick, around our tender hearts. We do this to protect ourselves from the vulnerability that true, raw intimacy demands. The fear of being seen, truly seen, in all our raw, beautiful imperfection, in our deepest longings and our most profound shadows, can be an incredibly powerful dam. For a woman, in particular, the fear of being vulnerable, of letting her authentic current flow, of exposing the delicate intricacies of her soul, can slowly, imperceptibly, yet profoundly, constrict this vital river. It's a retreat, a self-protection mechanism that, ironically, starves the very essence it seeks to guard. When this profound blockage occurs, we don't just lose intimacy in the bedroom. No, the consequences ripple far wider, touching every corner of our existence. When this fundamental energy is blocked, we don't simply lose sex, we lose vitality. We lose the animating spark, the vibrant pulse that infuses life with meaning and joy. We lose the natural effervescence, the rich color, the very aroma of our existence. The world, which once shimmered with possibility, can begin to appear muted, dull, less alive. Joy feels a little less vibrant. Inspiration can become elusive, and our connection to life, to its magnificent pulse and rhythm, becomes a mere murmur rather than a roaring symphony. It's not simply a loss of sexuality in the physical sense, it is a profound loss of the fullness of being itself. The sense of aliveness, of participation, of simply being present in the vibrant tapestry of life diminishes. You see, sexual energy is far more than physical release or procreation. It is, first and foremost, about movement, the dynamic, flowing interplay of forces within us and between us. It is about breath, deep and unfettered, consciously drawn into the core of our being, carrying life force to every cell. It is about attention, the focused, loving presence we bring to another and equally to ourselves. It is about presence itself, being fully here, now, in this sacred moment, with all your senses awakened, your heart open, and your spirit engaged. Desire, in its most expansive and purest form, is simply another name for this potent, undeniable life force. It is the yearning of life to express itself through us, to connect profoundly, to create endlessly, to deepen its own understanding and experience. And in this context, a man doesn't lose power when he ages. He loses it when he stops looking with wonder at this profound current, within himself and within the woman he cherishes. When a woman's desire seems to fade, when her inner river runs dry or becomes sluggish, it is often this deep, vital current that has been diverted or perhaps has gone underground, waiting. waiting for the safety, the reverence, the conscious attention, the deep honoring that will allow it to flow freely, exuberantly once more. It is not an absence, you understand, but a silent call. A call for understanding, for patience, for a sacred space where her soul can once again feel safe enough to sing its unique, magnificent song. This deep understanding is not about techniques or strategies, not about prescriptive methods. It's about a profound shift in perspective, a recognition of the sacred current that animates us all, that connects us all. It's about remembering that the yearning for connection, the magnetic pull of attraction, is not a sin or a weakness to be suppressed or shamed. No, no. Attraction is not sin. It's the universe remembering itself. It's life calling to life in countless forms, in an endless cosmic dance of recognition and communion. To truly feel another, to truly be felt, to move beyond the superficial into the profound, requires this deeper awareness, this conscious reverence. It asks us to cultivate a sacred space of honor for this vital energy, first within ourselves, and then with profound respect between us. It invites us to listen intently to the whispers of the soul, to feel the subtle currents that ebb and flow beneath the surface of everyday life, and to consciously allow the magnificent river of life to flow, unhindered, between two souls. The journey back to this vibrant current, to this soulful song, often begins with a quiet return to your own breath, to the sacred temple of your own body, to the subtle, powerful energy that pulses within you, waiting patiently to be acknowledged, to be honored, to be awakened once more. Love, feel, breathe. The energy within you has never died. It's been waiting for you to awaken. We speak of connection lost, of a bridge seemingly broken. But the path back, my friend, is not paved with demands or frantic attempts to fix what feels absent. No. The journey of return begins much more gently. It begins with presence. It asks of you simply to be, to stop, to pause, to breathe, without expectation, without agenda, just to be there, to allow yourself to feel again. Not her, not yet, but you, your own current, the subtle hum beneath the surface of your skin. This is an invitation to a deep breath, a breath that fills every cell of your own being. Can you feel it? The quiet pulse within you? The life force that animates your fingertips, your chest, your very core? It's still there. It has always been. For when energy is blocked, we don't truly lose sex. We lose vitality. We lose the vibrant current that reminds us we are alive. We are capable of profound connection. To return to her, you must first return to this living, breathing temple that is your own body. Feel its vulnerability. Feel its strength. Allow yourself to be truly present in it, without judgment, without the weight of what was or what should be. Just here. And in this space of quiet presence, a new courage begins to bloom. The courage to feel again. Not just the comfortable, the familiar, but the raw, the tender, the sometimes unsettling truth of what is, without fear, without shame. When you offer this presence, this open vulnerability to yourself first, something shifts. Then, when you turn towards her, it is not with a need to take, but with an offering to share. Between a man and a woman flows not just passion, but life itself, a sacred current always seeking to move, to express. And touch, then, becomes not merely a physical act, but a profound language. It is the universe remembering itself through the simple, honest contact of two beings. Attraction is not sin. It's the universe remembering itself. Can you imagine touching her hand not as a gesture of habit, but as an exploration? A quiet, reverent inquiry into the texture of her skin, the warmth of her pulse? This is where the magic resides. Not in grand gestures, but in the micro moments of pure, unadulterated presence. A man doesn't lose power when he ages. He loses it when he stops looking with wonder, with awe, when he ceases to see the incredible, intricate beauty in the world around him, and most intimately, in the woman beside him. When a woman breathes deeply, life breathes with her. And when you, as a man, are present, truly present, in your own body, in your own breath, you invite her to breathe with you again. You invite her to feel that shared current once more. Desire is not the body calling, it is the soul singing. And when you listen, truly listen to your own soul, you begin to hear hers. This is the return. It is gentle. It is slow. It requires patience. But it is true. It is the path of authentic reunion. Love. Feel. Breathe. The energy within you has never died. It's been waiting for you to awaken. We often hold back, don't we? A part of ourselves, a deep, vital current. Perhaps out of an old fear, a quiet caution, whispered to us by life's sharper edges. We learn to guard our hearts, to shield our vulnerability, to contain the raw, potent energy that truly defines us. We fear the vastness of our own capacity to feel, to connect, to surrender to the very flow that brought us into being. This fear, unacknowledged, builds subtle barriers, not walls of stone, but veils of hesitation, layers of silent withdrawal. And in that gentle retreat, the vibrant current between a man and a woman can seem to diminish, to quiet its song. But consider this. The river does not cease to be a river simply because its banks have narrowed or because a stone has momentarily diverted its path. Its essence, its living water, remains. So too with the energy that courses within you and between you. It does not disappear. It merely waits. It waits for your attention, for your permission to flow freely once more. When energy is blocked, we don't lose sex, we lose vitality. We lose that radiant spark in our eyes, that deep hum in our chest, that creative surge in our spirit. We lose the very current that fuels our passion, yes, but also our purpose, our joy, our capacity for profound connection in every facet of our lives. It's not just about the bedroom, it's about the vibrancy of your entire being. To awaken this current, we begin not by striving, but by softening. We begin by granting ourselves permission to feel deeply, without judgment, without the need to categorize or control. Permission to simply be with what is stirring within. To acknowledge the longing, the tenderness, the deep well of desire that may have long been muted. This permission is a quiet, radical act of self-acceptance. It's saying, yes, I am whole, I am powerful, and I am ready to feel the life that moves through me. It's letting go of the unspoken anxieties that tell us our feelings are too much or not enough or somehow wrong. It's understanding that desire is the language through which the soul speaks. It's not a demand, it's an invitation, a sacred whisper from your deepest self yearning for expression, for resonance. When you allow this inner current to stir, when you stop fearing its intensity, something profound begins to shift, not only within you, but around you. The woman beside you, she doesn't feel your efforts. She doesn't perceive what you are doing. She feels what you are. She feels your presence. She feels the quiet hum of your awakened self. Imagine a still pond, reflecting the sky. Then, a gentle breeze ripples its surface, bringing life, movement, a dance of light. Your internal landscape is much the same. When you release the internal constriction, when you breathe into your own being, when you grant yourself the grace to simply exist in your fullness, that ripple extends outward. It touches her, not through words, not through actions, but through the subtle, energetic field that surrounds and connects you. Between a man and a woman flows not just passion, but life itself. It is a shared stream, a weaving of destinies, a dance of two souls remembering their inherent unity. This remembering is not something you force, it is something you allow. It is a recognition that attraction is not sin. It's the universe remembering itself. It's the echo of creation, playing out in the delicate space between two beings. And when you embody this truth, when you become present in this way, not striving, but simply being, she will feel you again. Not because you've learned a new technique or read another book, but because you have returned to yourself, whole, present, alive. This subtle, living thread between you has never truly broken. It has merely waited for your attention, for your softest touch of permission to be, permission to feel again. And then, in that deep silence and profound acceptance, she will feel you. Not because you did something to her, but because you are vibrant, connected, and utterly beautifully present. Love, feel, breathe. The energy within you has never died. It's been waiting for you to awaken.